Hello and how are you? My name is Mohindon Bark and welcome you to another learning video of how to create web applications using Laravel. And we're specializing right now in Laravel admin. I will make a dashboard using Laravel admin. In today's video, we're going to take it from where we stopped at in the previous video, and today we're going to look at the form linkage, how we can link the fields of a form in one way or the other using Laravel admin. So without wasting much time, let's go ahead and start our project and then do the work that has brought us here. So I'll begin by opening the code that we always use for learning this project, which is a Hotel Pro. You can see it here, and I'm going to serve it so it can start what? It can start running. So I'll go ahead and run php artisan serve. It will process. Let's say again. Okay. Let me first clear everything. My laptop is a bit slow, so be patient. So we're going to see how we can do these kind of linkages. So these linkages, they help us to make limitations or to make different conditions when you're handling form. For example, you may put a condition that when one thing is true, another one should not be true. So, or another one, some fields should be hidden. So that's literally what you're going to do. That's what we're going to see. Let me try to restart this IDE because it is becoming. So I'll go ahead and run php artisan serve, and then our server will start running on that port, on that endpoint. So there we go. I can go ahead and put stroke admin to go specifically to our project, and for the first time it can be slightly slow, so you might be patient to wait as it loads. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to create another controller that we're going to use to demonstrate this feature. So what we're going to do, we're going just to maybe create another room controller or a room controller, and then it's what you're going to use to demonstrate these features. So I'm going to just duplicate this rooms controller, this very controller, and then just rename it so we can be able to do to demonstrate the linkages idea, the linkage feature. So I'm going to just duplicate this room controller and just rename it. Okay, so let me show you how it is done. So I'll come to our project. Let me first minimize this. I'll come to our project and look for this room controller, and then do what? And then copy it and then paste it. So it will be here with the word copy. So I'm going to rename it and come here and say rename, and then I call it form linkage controller, like this. Then I copy this name, okay, because this name must be the same as that of class. So I'll copy it and press enter. So I'm here, okay. So I'll come here and do what? And paste this name so it can match. And then I can change this title by calling it maybe form linkage. and then I go ahead and add this state and add this controller in the what? In the I go ahead and add this controller in our routes. So press Ctrl P and then write routes. Here then I'll be able to access our routes. Okay, here in our routes. So I'll go ahead and duplicate this route and just put there this home controller, and then I give it another resource name. Okay, so I can call it linkages. Okay, linkages, something like that. Linkages, something like that. Okay, then I go ahead and add this in our menu. So I'll come to our system and then come here to authentication stroke menu, and then my laptop is becoming slow in loading. Why? Okay, you can use this here as well. Alright, so I'll come here. This one is going to be under forms, and then I put the title, which is linkages or linkage, and then I put relevant icon, and then I put the slug or the link. Okay, so the linkage, as you can see, it is here. So if I refresh, I should be able to do what? To see it on the menu. So that's the way to go. Let me refresh. I should be able to see it here. So if I click on linkages, I should be able to see form like that of what? Of rooms. And with that form linkage, something like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and demonstrate what we've talked about. So what if, for example, let's say that our system, we give discounts, okay? We give discounts to different rooms, and let's say that if a room, I mean, if a room, we give discount on a certain room, and this discount can be maybe calculated in percentage, and another one cannot calculate, or can be calculated on what? On flat rate. What does it mean? It means that we'll have to create a condition that if you say we offer discount on this room, we should go ahead and show the fields that are talking about discount. If you say don't offer, if you don't offer, I mean, if we say that we don't, if we say that we don't offer discount to a room, then those fields, they should not show in the what? In the forms. So that's what we're going to do, to demonstrate right now. So we're going to introduce three more fields in our database or in our table of rooms, whereby the first one is is discount offered, something like that. Is discount offered? Then it will have a response of a yes or no, and then when it is a yes, it should show, okay, what is the discount type? Is it percentage, or it is flat rate? So if you say flat rate, it should show you a field where you put the amount that you offer for discount as a flat in form of flat rate. If you say it is percentage, it should show you the amount that you offer, I mean the discount that you give, a percentage that you give on that room, if it is a percentage, something like that. So those are literally four fields. Which one? The first one is going to be discount type. That means discount is offered is discount offered. That's the first field. The second field is going to be discount type. Then the third field is going to be discount percentage, if it is a percentage. And then another one is going to be discount amount, or discount flat rate amount. Something like that. Okay, so that's the field that you're going to do what to fill. Let's go ahead and add them in what? In our table. So I'll come to our, I'm going to add them directly. So I'll come here to our local host and then come to PHP. By the way, there is a way how you can add those one in the table by migrations. Okay, let me show you. Let's come here, add column, Laravel table migration, something like that. Then you'll get a way how you can do it, which is by use of this link to show you. That is how you add a what? You add a column. Let me show you. Let me put here in important commands so you can be able to see it. I have here my text file where I put important commands. For example, this one of adding a column. Let me put it here so I should not search it again. So I can put it here. So and I implement it. So it's PHP adds and make migration, and then right here the name of migration. This name should be unique. So I can say maybe add the discount things or columns or anything to what? To rooms table. To rooms table. Okay, this word can be anything, and then I come and put here. I think we already have that. I already have something like this, which is okay. Okay, so I put there rooms. So I'll go ahead and run this command. Then I'll open my terminal. I'm going to open the second terminal by pressing here plus. So I should have two terminals. This one for the server. This one is for the commands. So let me go ahead and run that and press enter. So it will process. Okay, it has been created. So I can press Ctrl and click on it to go straight to that file. However, you can find it as well here under migrations. I mean under database migration, and then it will be the very last file. Okay, so let's go ahead and add these columns here that are going to be added to what? To the rooms. So I'll go ahead and say, I think you can see Copilot has done it for me. Let me go ahead and advise it correctly. Okay, so let me come here and copy the links, I mean the forms that, I mean the field that you have agreed to add. So the first one is discount offered. So I'll come here and put is discount offered. So it will be just a simple string that will have a yes or no. So by default I can add just something. I say default, it is what? It is no, something like this. Okay, so discount is not offered by default. So after that, the next thing is discount percentage. So Copilot has done it for me, or I can just simply come and just copy this and duplicate this guy. Discount percentage, this one's going to be what? An integer, and then I don't need a default value, or I can put it what? Yeah. Let me so I can put here the default be 0, but you can, of course, for percentage, it's nullable to always be 0. So I can go ahead and put also the discount type. This one will be a string. What is this? Discount type. It's going to be a string. Just put nullable. That's enough. Okay, so discount percentage, in case it is percentage, you'll have to put percentage here. You don't need even default, it's okay. You just make it nullable. Okay, so the next thing is the discount percentage. What's going on? That should be done. Discount percentage, it is done. And then the last thing is the flat rate amount. So I'll just simply come and duplicate this one and then put here. So if we say, so that's what we're going to collect. Yeah, I think that's what you're going to do. What? Collect. So we'll ask if the discount is offered, then select is the discount type, which is percentage of flat rate. So after selecting this one, then we show for this case we'll select percentage, and then for this case select what? The amount. So let's go ahead and do what? And then let's go ahead and put and run this. So I'll open my terminal and then run php artisan migrate, and it will migrate that table. Then it means that we'll have it migrate this migration. That means that if you go to your database, you'll be able to find the table of rooms where, well, I mean, we'll be able to find that the rooms, these columns are being added to the what? The table of what? The table of rooms. Okay. So after doing that, let's now go ahead and now do the logic of what? Of linkages. So I want when a user will be editing, let's say will be editing this room here. Remember we're here in linkages. When the user will be editing this room, you should be able to decide whether we are offering discount to this room or we are not offering discount to this room. If you say that you're offering discount to this room, we should be able to show them the discount amount, something like that. Okay, so this is the price. Let's put that here in this section of what? Of pricing. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll come back to a controller of form linkage and then come to the form section and then come to the pricing section. You can put here a form divider pricing, and then I come here and put room pricing. All right, so let's go ahead and put there the rooms pricing. So the first thing is we need to ask, are we offering discount or not? Here. That's where we are here. So maybe after that I can put maybe room details so it can be showing distinctively. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our first column, our first row. So this is how it is done. I think you already know it how it's done. So you first use either you use one of these, either a multi select or a single select, and use a drop down, either a select or a radio to implement that. So I'm going to use this radio. So that you say you put radio and then put option and then you attach when. So when, then you put a function when it is a specific function, and then when you put a condition, and then you put a what? A function that you want to execute when that scenario is true. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing you're going to ask, are we offering discount or not? So you'll just simply come here and say form, and then you say maybe radio card or radio, or let's use radio. Okay, radio. Then it is like that. I think you can see it. You say, is discount offered? Then you have a yes or no. Okay, yes or no. You see options are yes or no. So if you come here and refresh, you'll see is discount offered. You have a yes and a no. Okay, yes and a no. So this stacked is the one that makes it one to be on top of the other, but if you remove stacked, one will be aside to the other. Okay, like this. Is discount offered? Yes or no? Okay, so I want now to say, when I say yes, they should show me the default, the field of entering the what? The discount type. So let's go ahead and do that. So to do that, we'll come here immediately after the options and then put this method called when. Okay, so when, then you open bracket, So you put here the first operator, like when it is yes, what should happen? So you just do it like that. Okay, should I write it? Okay, let me write it. Okay, so you just simply say when, and then the first condition you put when it is yes, and then you put when it is yes. Then the second parameter you put a comma and put a function that should be called when it is yes. So it is simply function, and then you open bracket. You can put here form like this, and then you open here curly bracket here and put something that you want to do what to execute when it is yes. Okay, so what I want to execute when it is yes, I want to ask now what is the type of discount that is offered. Okay, so to do that, I'll just simply come here and say form. See it, you see what you see Copilot is suggesting this code for me, which is really correct. Okay, so you can see here they're asking me, I'm asking now, select. It can be a drop down, it can be a radio, no problem. So select the discount. What's the discount type? Okay, the first type is percentage, the second type is what is flat amount. Okay, so this will only show when a user says he offers discount. So let's go ahead and refresh and see. So they ask us, do we offer discount? So when I say, by default say it is no. So when I say it is yes, you see, they ask me discount type. Can you see? Discount type. This will select. So I can say no here. So when I say no, it should be hidden. So let me go ahead and use radio here. Radio. So a user should see them immediately before even they click. So there you go. So they ask me, do you offer discount? It is no. Then everything is hidden. When I say yes, it shows, it cascades and show the discount percentage that we offer. If I say no, it will not show it. When I say yes, they show. When I say no, they will not show it. So when I say yes, I offer discount, they ask me the discount type. Is it percentage or it is a what? Flat amount or flat rate. So we want to say now when it is percentage, it should show the percentage amount that we are collecting. When it is flat rate, it should show the flat specific. If it is percentage, you'll show that you should show a field where you can put the percentage that you offer. Then if it is flat rate, it should show the field where you put the specific amount of a discount that we offer as a flat rate. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll come to our form, and then here we are on radio. So we want to see when the discount type is percentage, what should we do? So we'll just simply come again and touch on this very one, okay, and put form, put when, okay. So when discount type is what? When, and then you put the first condition, and then say when it is percentage, like this. So when it is percentage, you do the same thing. Just simply put function and then open the form. So in this percentage, we have to enter the percentage what? The percentage discount. So I can say it should be just a decimal, like this. Like that. So it means that when we say it is percentage, it is we're offering discount in form of percentage. So the system will go ahead and show us a place where you should put the percentage, the discount percentage. Okay, so the field can be required. Okay, discount percentage. So when it is not there, so what will I do? I can copy the same and then just put here. I can just simply say when it is, when I put when it is what? It is flat rate. So you should select the flat amount. So Copilot is auto suggesting the code for me, but I hope you're getting the point. Here, when it is flat rate, it should show. And remember, we are not comparing the things that are here in front, but we're comparing the things that the real values here. Okay, so I save. I hope you've understood that. You can pause the video and look at it. Let me go ahead and refresh. So there we go. So let me refresh properly. What are they saying? There's some error. It's supposed to be when, not where. Like this. So there we go. So when you say offer discount, they'll show you. When you say don't offer discount, they'll not show you. So you say when offer discount, it will show discount type. When you say it is percentage, you will see discount percentage, enter discount percentage. When you say it is flat rate, discount, flat amount. I hope you get the point. Now let's say that you offer in percentage. So just simply put here percentage and then put maybe 20% or 15%. Okay, so you can see it is only collecting what you exactly need. So if I come here and update, submit, I hope to not show any error. You see, it has successfully saved that accordingly. So if I refresh, that data will not lost, will not be lost because it is in what? It is in database. Okay, so that's how you do it. That's how you use cascading or use linkages, form linkage. Then we can use this form linkage. I hope you've got that point. We can use even this form linkage for comparison. For example, you may say that a radio, let's say a radio has options like 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you want to go ahead and see when an option of a radio is greater than this one can be done. So this is what you do. You just put when, and then you put here the sign that you want to use to compare, and then put here the value. Okay, for example, you want to say maybe when you put a radio and then you put values in those options with the numbers which have values of numbers. So you can use this one to do what? To compare. Maybe when something is greater than or less than. You can use those operators. Then you can also use to do what? To do multiple values. For example, you can say when, and then you put in. So if the option is one of these, this will be what? Will be executed. Okay, you can even put not in. It means that if the result is not in one of these array, this function what will be executed. So you can try that by what? By yourself. So that is how we implement form linkages. So we proceed to form management. This one is very simple. This one is very simple. I think I'll not even go there, but I can explain. Here they're showing us how you can get rid of some fields. So if you don't want this field to be submitted, you can just simply put forget, and that field will be forgotten or will not be submitted. Then another thing that here they're showing us, in case you want to extend the for example, the editor, you can use that one. Okay, so this is just how to manage a form. Okay, so another thing is now the form validation. How can we validate our form? So that's what we're going to look at. So let us look at form validation. So form validations help us form validations help us to validate the fields and put our rules before those fields are saved to our to our database. So they help us to have clean data in our in our database. So Laravel has its own ways of how it validates data. So you can read about that under Laravel form validation. It has a complete documentation of how it is done. So Laravel admin uses Laravel form validation rules to implement the same thing. So let's go ahead and create a controller that we're going to use for form validation. So I'm going to put in another controller called form validation. We're just going to duplicate this one maybe. So I've duplicated it and then I'll come and rename it. Form validation controller. So I'll come and put form validation, and then after I will go ahead and rename also this controller to have the same name as that of the name. So I can simply come here and be like renaming and then I copy the name and then put it here. So I'll go ahead and put this controller into our routes. So I'll come to routes and put validations and then put the controller itself there. Then I'll go ahead and copy this validations field and add it to our menu. I just simply come here to auth, menu, and then come and put here validations, and then it should be under forms, and then I put like this. Okay, so I can put right icon, this one for example. So after I will go ahead and save it. So if I refresh and I come here, I should be able to see form validation. Okay, here. So all right, let's go ahead and elaborate form validation. So Laravel has a complete complete ways of how you to validate a form. For example, I can say that this field is required. Okay, this first field is required. To do that, you just simply come to the field that you want to make it required, which is this one, and then come and put what we call rules. Okay, so I can remove these rules first so we can understand everything. So if I refresh, you'll see there will be no star on this one, meaning it's not required for now. So if I want to make it required, I'll have to add here rules that are going to make it required. I just simply come here and put after the form icon, after the form itself, I attach a method called rules. Okay, like this. Okay, so in these rules, you can put different rules. For example, the first rule you can say this field is required. So you just simply say required. Okay, like this. So it means that if someone tried to submit this field without specifying the requirement, what to do? Let us remove, for example, the room number and try to submit without the room number. If I submit, the system will validate and put for me this field is what is required. So that is what you call what? Form validation. So you can as well create multiple rules and do what and put your own ways of how you want to do it, how you want the form to be validated. For example, if I want to add another rule, let us say that I want to add another rule whereby I want a user to fill in the field whereby it is greater than what? It is greater than 0. Okay? So to do that, where the length is greater than 0. So to do that, there is this field called what? Minimum. minimum. Okay, so minimum will make sure that the length is greater than what? Greater than that. So I can put here min. So to attach another rule, you put a bar, this bar. So this bar is like and. So it should be required, and the minimum numbers, they should be 3. The minimum letters. So if I come here and refresh, and I put only one letter, only one character, and I submit, the system will do what? Will come back and say it should be more than 3 characters. So if I go ahead and say, if I can go ahead and put another rule and say max, it should be 10. So it means that the maximum value of the room number should be not be more than what? More than 10. So it will check both conditions. So if I put here something that has characters more than 10, then the system will warn me that these characters must be less than what? Less than 10 or not greater than 10. So you can learn more about form validation from Laravel rules. Okay, so you just come here and search Laravel form rules like this. So you'll be able to get a complete documentation that it is telling you how you can validate, even you put your own custom methods. I mean your own custom messages. So if you click there, you see Laravel form validation. So they'll explain to you everything that you need when you're doing what? When you're validating the form. So the same rules that are here, like the one you see here, those are the same rules that you can even use on what? On form validation. Only that here they use validate. So for us, we don't need to care about this validation. Rather, we just simply go there and start implementing it. So if you want to use maybe multiple rules, let's say that with custom messages, you can do what? You can use the array. As you can see here, you can use the array. Okay, you can use the array. Whereby the first value is you can use the array like how you see it where. Let me show you. Like how you see it here. Whereby the first value is the condition, and then the second value is the what? Is the message. So you can come here and learn more about form validation. It is a complete independent topic that is served separately. So here in simple terms, our form will first be validated before it is what? Before it is saved on database. Okay, so if you put correct validation, I put things that fall into the right validation, it will do what? It will go ahead and get saved. Otherwise, the update will not do what? Will not be implemented. So that is it about validation. You can say maybe it is not nullable, it is nullable. So you can use also that kind of what? That kind of rule. So you can also implement different rules in different scenarios. For example, if you say creation rules, it means that these rules will only be implemented when someone is creating. And then you can put also update rules. So it means these rules will also be created, will be implemented when someone is trying to update a field. You can see here an example that's saying when you're creating, you must provide your what? Your username, and that username, it should be unique according to the users table. Okay, so this is how you specify you check for uniqueness. So if you don't want someone to repeat the same name, this is how you check. Just simply put unique, and then you put the what? The name of the field that, the table where it should be checked, the uniqueness. Okay, so another one is the update rules. So in this update rules, they are these exactly same rules, but you can just change. So you see here, it is required, but here you say it should be unique from the user column. It should be unique in the users table, and then you specify the column, for example, username, and then you specify if the ID is not the same. So this one will help not to do what? To make duplicates of what? Of user IDs. And this rule, the second one, the usernames, and this rule, second rule, is only implemented when it is updating. Okay, so you can also try that. Okay, so let's look at callbacks. So these callbacks, they are the ones that are called when in different scenarios. For example, if you want to listen after the form has been submitted and do some action, you can put it here. Just simply say form and then submitted, and then you do the action from here. If you want to listen when the form is about to be submitted, maybe when it is saving, you can listen to this. And if you want to listen when the form has just been saved, you can listen to this. So here, it will help you to do different actions in different time. For example, you can listen maybe when it is submitted. When it has just submitted before it gets saved, you say they should ignore the username, meaning that this field of username should not be saved. Okay, so once it is being submitted and before it gets saved, you do some logic here. You can ignore the form. So those are the what? These are the hooks that you have in Laravel admin. You can implement them in your different scenarios. Okay, but you can see they're straightforward. You just simply put submitted and then you put in the logic that you want to do when someone has just submitted that particular item. So we have saving. This saving is when the form has been submitted and it is about to be saved. Okay, which is called before saving. Before save. So this one is the function that will be called immediately after saving the changes. So you have three possibilities that you may need to listen to when your form is being what? Is being put in use. Okay, so submitted means that it has just been submitted but not yet saved. Saving, it means that okay, it is now time to save, or it is saving that data. This callback is called also before submitted, submit before saving, and then this one saved, it will be a callback that will be called after you have done what? After you have after the form has been saved. So come also and look at them. Then we can go to form layouts. So in this form layout is just how you may need to organize your form. For example, one side you have different things, and another side you have different things. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is our form. So if I want to put layouts, if I want to put dividers, for example, okay, I can just simply come here and then come to our form. This is the form, and then come and say so what does it mean? It means that things that you put in that form will be taking half of a what? Half of a screen, which is 1 divided by 2. So if I come and refresh, can you see that these things have been put in a halfway? This first information, they have been put in a what? In a halfway. So that is how we do what? That's how we manage the form layouts. Okay? So if you want maybe also the other one to be put in the other way, you can just simply do the same and then paste the code of this you paste the code, this other code, or any other information you want to put in the other opposite side. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I can come and cut this and do it and paste and come and refresh. You can see even these ones have done what? Have been divided into 2. Okay, so in most cases we don't usually use it, but if you feel like you want to divide your forms into 2, you can use that one. Okay, see, half one side, I have the other side, and then you have a side by side what? Side by side form. Hope you get my what? You get my point. So those are form validation layouts. So on this note, we'll say that we are done with forms. But as we proceed, of course, we'll build different scenarios and then we'll see how we can implement them along the way. So in the next video, we'll begin straight from what? From the grid. Okay, we'll begin on what? On the grid. That is how we're going to see how you can manage the table of what? Of Laravel admin. That is where the whole story is, and it is really interesting. So make sure that you be part of the what? Of the discussion in the next video. We're going to look at the grid now itself, etc. So make sure that you don't miss. So if when you finish grid, we can look at now the extensions, and then we call it a what? A chapter. So tomorrow we'll start from there, where we'll look at what? We'll start at grid, and the grids are very, very important in our project. So that's make it the end of today's lecture, and goodbye. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure you do what? And make sure that you put that subscription bell, so that when you post, you get a reminder. So let us meet in the next video, where we're going to proceed with what? With Laravel admin grid, and don't miss.